Recorded at Cosmic Comics in Rockingham, Western Australia, you're listening to The Comic Box with your hosts, Psycho Scott,
Movie Matt,
Professor Ray,
Anna Ann,
and the Wookie.
And we have two guests with us today, Callum and Josh.
Yes, I'm here with you guys today. Hopefully we can weigh in on some issues.
That
We
would
can
be
learn
great.
their names before we ask.
Just wing it. Just wing it.
Yeah, that's
It
what
was
we
sort of-
always do.
Should I go with a Callum and then you introduce yourself, or Josh and then
No,
you
I think
introduce
that's
yourself?
that's enough for me.
Okay.
Callum and the other guy.
I like it that way.
Oh, the other guy.
Callum too.
How is everybody today?
awake,
Good.
alive,
Yeah.
Awake and
Yeah.
alive.
Life
Presents.
weather.
Presents? Sweet.
present.
Pass them over.
What's mine? Give me the burger.
Here is your burger.
Oh.
Well done. You win. That is 4 burgers you win. You now win 4 burgers.
Still 4 left, right?
Call us. Call us when you get out of the hospital. Okay, we're here to talk you through another week of Geek for the next hour, so let's get started. First off, the new Man of Steel banner has been released online this past week, and it's very, very simple. It's pretty much just a reworked Superman logo with Man of Steel written underneath.
Creative.
So, creative, yes, I know, it is. So, of course, this led me to the question of, if you were a superhero, what colour would your costume be?
I like how that has nothing to do with what you just said.
What's that got to do with that?
I was going to say, new Man of Steel. Do you think the movie's going to be any good?
No.
What color is it going to be?
Of course. You don't expect sanity from me, do you?
You don't want an obvious answer. You know, it's like,
But everybody goes for primary colours. Honestly. Purple?
I love
You would
purple.
go with purple?
It's a great colour and it works great on superheroes.
Yeah.
It does.
The villains always seem to get it, like Magneto.
Yep. Magneto's
Zemo.
the first one I think of.
Yeah, you just straight up, you've always got like villains wearing
Well,
purple.
it's always a darker color. It's a dark color. That's probably why a lot of.
But it's a
villains-
royal colour too, so
Well,
So
it's
it's not-
It's
well,
sort of a
domination.
regal royal
why not
colour.
wear a regal
How many
colour?
royal people do you trust, though?
not many.
when I look at
They're all evil.
When I look at purple, I think Cadbury.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Yes, excellent.
It's registered by Cadbury.
Cadbury.
I mean, I think every
That-
time
that's
purple, I think
specific-
Phantom.
That specific shade of purple you can't use because it's registered by Cadbury. So
No one ever does.
if Magneto has it, it must be like either a darker or a lighter shade of that
Yeah,
purple.
yeah,
So.
yeah. It's more of a red spectrum purple.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But that's disturbing. I probably wouldn't go for purple. No, I don't think I'd go for purple because of the Phantom. If I was a villain, yeah, I'd definitely weigh on the purple, maybe a dark red. Go for the nice dark red, yeah.
Red's always like a either side colour.
Yeah. Go for a red, like burgundy red.
That's more villain though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would definitely be villain. I'd probably go for blue for a hero. So
Yeah,
many
yeah.
blue heroes.
I was going to say blue and white or something like that.
Blue Beetle.
Chuck in a bit of red there, and you can be a Iceman
You
hero.
know, there's a Fantastic Four.
Iceman's blue.
There's a lot
Iceman's see-through.
There's a lot of blue heroes.
yeah.
It
Yep.
depends when you plan to be stalking people. If it's during the night, probably not fluoro reds and yellows are your best bet.
Yeah, I can't imagine Batman in high vis.
It's like he's
Road
all
working
but he has
sign.
like black eyes. So
What the hell is
you
that?
can't see my eyes, so
You can just. He's got like fluoro teeth as well, so smiling at his.
I can't imagine him stealthing people. He has to close his eyes and close his mouth so no one can see him. Just like,
Can they see me? Oh, that's disturbing.
I don't know. It'd probably depend on like, whatever superpower I had to whatever color.
Really?
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at a few of
Yeah.
them, they try to match up like
What-
the
what-
costume with whatever
Well,
superpower.
you said your superpower a couple of weeks ago would be imperviousness.
No, was it
Supervised
procrastination?
No, you said procrastination later.
yeah.
No, originally you said
Oh, yeah,
because he said Superman.
At first he was going to tell you one, but then he just procrastinated over it.
And 2 weeks later, do you have one now?
2 weeks
from now, okay.
See, told you.
Not got around to it yet.
It works.
Okay, what colour
Oh,
would you have if
invulnerability.
you had the power of invisibility then?
Nudity.
We're going
I would go
Holoman.
for skin colour.
Tan colour.
What colour
I
would
don't
you
know.
choose?
White.
Probably white. You'd probably end up going white with like invisibility or something like that.
What was
Beige.
it? Beige.
Beige.
No, which side I'm on. Most neutral. With a hint of grey through there.
What would your superpower be? I am the most boring.
It's been the worst stories you've ever heard. And I would wear Plastic Man's like really short shorts, one piece, so everyone feels awkward just standing around you.
Yeah.
The guy in a beige G-banger.
I think I left the oven on. I'm just gonna.
How do you feel
What
about
is
this
wrong
thing
with
going
you?
downhill? I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Okay, who hasn't answered this? What
I
colour did
said
you say?
blue and white.
You said blue and white. You were with.
He didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything yet.
No, I don't accept white. That's not a colour.
No.
Yeah, it's a shade.
It's a
Yeah.
Okay, any colour or shade.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Apple green.
Apple green. Yeah. People,
I'd really stand out.
people would be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Do you know the problem with white is that heroes are kind of vulnerable to getting dirty and
Yeah.
getting bloody.
Yep.
And if it's
Blood
Batman, if it's
everywhere.
Batman Year 1, you have to worry about other things too.
Yep.
You know, like,
But I want people to know that I'm drenched in the blood of my enemies.
Nothing says I rescue kids like drenching the blood of your enemies.
That's it. I have red and black, but I have the blood actually painted on it.
Thank you. Finally, somebody actually said black. No,
everybody
went for.
wears
Everybody went
I
for
was
a
going to
colour.
say
You were the
black
first.
because I didn't think it was a colour, so I wasn't going to say it. But now you say
you were
no,
the first one.
tones are okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
You were the first one to go with something like
really
black, and the
puts-
most iconic, or one of the most iconic characters is Batman.
but do you not think that black alludes to the fact that you're only ever going to be active at night?
It does, but
You can't be
it's-
active during the day with
You could,
black.
you
You
could
don't
be
stand
in
out.
bushes.
Well, I mean, you've got things
to be
like
honest,
Cyclops
Punisher-
is now in a black suit. I mean, it's got gold pinstriping.
Cyclops.
Oh god.
So what, by going purple, does that mean you're only going to come out in like the, you know, when the
Super
dusk?
Dawn and dusk.
It's noon. My time is now.
I'm saying that superheroes are traditionally campy, and I think that if you're going to go with it, I think you have to.
What's the point of Cyclops being stealthy? As soon as he lets off his eyeball,
See where's Cyclops? Oh, look at that beam in the distance. He's over there.
The only less obvious thing is having your own theme song and to go over.
Hang on, wait. I'm just going to hit play.
Yeah, well, that's next week's topic.
what would your theme song be?
Talk about campy. There's a new book coming out. It's called Spandex. And it's about all these gay superheroes.
That's amazing. Gay superhero team.
Oh,
It's
God.
awesome. One of them's called Butch.
Technically speaking, Garth Ennis's The Boys has a gay superhero team, so it's,
Yeah.
Well, even
It's
if
been
I'm
done
like
already.
this, swings both ways.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
babies too. So
yeah.
Seeing as I brought it up before, would anybody like to talk about the Superman movie? Or why it's not called Superman?
I think he'll shoot about 20 minutes of it and then release it all in slow mo.
I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with it, though, because, I mean, there's not many superheroes that need another retelling of their origin.
No,
Really
no,
does not,
No,
you know?
especially
I don't really
I mean, how many times can we see Superman landing on Earth, being raised by some hicks,
Yep.
and then becoming a good old American boy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Apparently, one more time.
but it won't be the last, though. That's the problem. Is it's going to happen again and again and again.
Yep.
Pick
And with
up
the
that.
Keep
rebooting
going.
The Dark Knight after this one's finished,
Yep.
before they do a Justice League, then you're not afraid that they're maybe going to reboot Superman again in order to get them all at the same point?
That would be horrible.
So,
isn't that
one
why
of the
they are
things-
doing this?
Yeah, that's what it seems
Well,
like.
some of the new Superman's actually going to lead into.
Probably. The way they've actually done the costumes and everything like that is akin to the new 52 version
I like
of Superman's
that. That's
costume.
cool.
Which it makes more sense. In this day and age,
Yeah.
that's more of a sort of fit
like
into...
jeans and costume. Yeah.
Red underwear don't exactly say I am here to kick your ass.
Red belt,
It just
blue
says,
underwear,
I am
honestly.
here, observe.
Check it out. Check it out.
The focal point of this entire thing is my crush.
The Superman
sheer
symbol is now changed to
intimidation.
like an arrow.
There's 2 arrows, this is the man, the legend. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Superman.
Bow, bow.
Oh god. You know that's going to be released next with all the superhero themed porn genre which seems to have picked up very soon.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they'll dig up that on song.
I'm concerned that's directed by Zack Snyder, but that it's written by Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
really
he's
strange.
moving away from Batman and the Superman. Someone else will do the next Dark Knight one. So that's like, okay, so maybe Zack Snyder will go do the next Dark Knight one.
That would be. Oh wow, that would ruin Batman, wouldn't it?
He's like, here he comes, and he's coming towards him in slow motion. And he's like, I got heaps of time to get out of the way.
I just don't know. Superman in slow mo is a normal moving person.
Yeah. Faster than the speed of logic.
I don't know. Actually, the worst thing is the fact that Russell Crowe is going to be Jor-El.
But at least you know he's going to die.
Jor-El is just really.
No, he's already dead.
Yeah, well, he's
I mean, you see it, and it just looks like Russell Crowe in leather. Russell Crowe in leather. That's what it looks like. It's just like he showed up on set and said, "Put this on."
Does he have the Australian accent?
Okay, son.
Wait, we got to get the baby off the planet.
The planet Australia.
I like how both him and Sam Worthington went to the same acting school.
Planet's going to kill my baby. Let's get it off the planet. Quick.
Oh god, that's horrible. Okay,
we should mention that Russell Crowe is actually New Zealander, not
He is a
Australian.
Kiwi, yeah.
We adopted him. I don't know why we do that.
can we give him back?
New Zealand Court won't take back.
Damn
Plus,
it,
he owns
again?
the South Sydney Rabbitohs, so I guess we can't.
I can live without them too.
Okay, this leads me to a different topic. What star in any medium would you like to meet? Artist, writer, actor, anything. And really get to know them. You know, sit down with them, talk to them, like spend a day with them and get to know the person.
Do I get to decide like how I spend the day?
Of course. Of course.
I can just get off my face drunk with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Yes.
Samuel Jackson.
But
today,
any medium,
Samuel
you mean
Jackson break the record
they
of
don't
saying
have to
motherfucker.
actually exist?
No, they have to
I would
exist.
rather they're
Otherwise,
a
you couldn't
real
spend the
person.
day.
Bugger.
Yes, real person, preferably. Well, I mean, if you get off your face, they could be a pink elephant, for example.
Oh, I was thinking Genie out of Aladdin.
A 6 foot
That's
tall.
just
Why
one.
don't you just... Why don't you just spend the day with him?
Well, I
Because
don't want
Robin Williams is really
boring.
depressing.
You can grow a mean beard though.
That is one hefty beard.
Oh.
Okay, why?
It's an Archer reference.
So, if it wasn't the genie from Aladdin, who would you like to meet?
I don't know, actually. My hopes were really right up there for a moment there.
Do you idolise anybody so much that you would go, I would love to spend a day with that person?
Not anyone I haven't met before. And I've been to
Okay.
Supernova and YCon a couple of times, so I've met a fairly wide range of people.
Wide array. I've met a fair few people myself. I always try to bring this question back to me answering last, so... please,
Yeah.
anybody
I'm still
jump in.
thinking...
See, I'm struggling because a lot of the things that I like, they've always been creative teams rather than one person.
Yeah.
And I don't like the idea of meeting one person and giving them all the credit of the things that they've produced because it takes away the achievements of other people.
Yep.
Like, I was going to say originally, like, even though he's dead, Joey Strummer from The Clash is a great musician, but I wouldn't want to meet just one, I'd want to meet all of them.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to meet
Get
just
a-
the
get a
lead
chance
singer
to
because
meet
that's
all
not
of
really going to give you a decent...
But
Why
then
not
again,
Chuck Palahniuk?
spend a day...
Chuck Palahniuk would be a really great... his writing's fantastic and he's the sole author of all this stuff, but again, I wouldn't know if I'd actually like the person, so I'm kind of afraid of it, you know?
Yep.
These people, I mean, you know, I might want to meet them, but they have no interest in meeting someone who's done
Some-
nothing for the rest of
some
the
nobody.
world. So
Well,
I'm
like
fine
I
with
said to
what-
Josh, you get to pick the day. So, for instance, you said
Okay.
only meeting one of them, they would hang out together, so you'd end up meeting the entire band. So,
well, yeah,
Yeah.
in that case, I'd probably say I'd like to meet the members of the Clash. Yes,
yeah.
that'd be
Okay.
where I'd like to be with them.
Nice. That's a good choice.
If we're going music, Serge Tankian from System
Really?
of a Down. Yeah.
You like to party
He's
with
got
him.
an answer
Yeah.
now. He's like,
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 I said any music.
I'm meeting up with him and he's like, hey, you like to party? No, not really.
What's wrong with you, boy?
Would you like a cup of tea while we talk about theatre?
I am so out of here.
I'd say who I like to hang out with Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Yes, just because I really respect his stuff, and I know that he doesn't really focus on bad comedy. So he don't tell me the good jokes, not the ones that other people they put in the forefront. Like, look at the joke, yeah, it's awesome. Now let's go back to the story. He's just like, no, that's not important. Let's put it in the background.
Yeah. Somebody get hit with a ladder.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh no, I'd like to hang out with somebody that nobody's probably even heard of, Blackie Lawless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I can totally understand that, but
He's
you've
my
idolised
idol,
him for
yeah.
years, so
Yeah.
yeah. Anybody familiar with Wasp, the band Wasp?
I've
Oh,
heard of
no,
them.
man, no.
No.
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
They started
he's,
back in the 80s. Still going.
he's pretty much the everything of that band,
He
though.
is
I
everything
mean,
of that
to the point
band,
where
yeah.
the band disbanded and
Yeah,
he
and he
continued.
just-
Well, kind of
Continues
like
and got another
In
band.
Excess with Michael Hutchins, and then the minute he left the band, they
Yep.
keep the name, but it's not really the band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Blackie is actually Wasp.
yeah.
Before they split up.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he
so,
comes.
yeah. I can understand that. Wookie? I say Wookie and I expect him to say George Lucas.
No. And no.
To be real, George Lucas is not real.
Actually, I think a lot of people would wish he wasn't real.
Actually, did you see that someone attacked him in the street? He goes, "Are you going to make any Star Wars movies?" He's like, "Never,
No.
never, ever, ever." I was like, wasn't it? He said that when he retired, like a year ago.
yeah. I'm never doing that ever again.
So we'll see how long that lasts.
I don't particularly think there would be anybody.
Really? Absolutely nobody.
I think it was with my maybe it was a band rather than a single sort of member. So probably hanging out with Korn for a day would be my sort of thing.
You see, I can see that with the same
that would
answer.
be
Minus the musical
interesting.
thing. Is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
could be
'cause-
interesting or really goddamn boring.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I wouldn't want to be around them during their like creative time. I want to be with them after their peak and possibly after they've disbanded, because I don't want to be part of their creative process. I don't want to see them when they're trying to work. I want to see them when they're reflecting on what they've done.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
with Korn though, there's always been X amount of years before they've released. I mean, well, there has been lately. I mean, when they were first starting, it was like I think one after the other. But I noticed with the last few ones, there's been usually a couple of years or something between the two.
Okay.
You know, you're hanging out during the creative process, and then you leave, and then you come back and get the next album. It's like, this song's dedicated to that guy who we hung out with. It's called "Stupid Kid." Why don't you just leave us the damn thing?
I hate you.
That reminds me of that
Okay.
band out of Scott Pilgrim's. Like
Yeah.
this goes out to the guy.
Yeah.
Sweet, I love this one.
This is really interesting. We've got singer, songwriter, band, singer, songwriter, director, freak, or actor, depending on
And they
which
didn't
day you
say
get
who
him on.
And they didn't say who you pointed at. So
Mystery.
Josh.
I am the only person. Wow, I feel geeky. I'm the only person that's gone for an artist. Well, I'd go for Ninja Turtles if we got a chance
know
to
who you're
do
gonna
that,
pick,
but
though.
it would be Dalkion. And I would love to see what goes behind Dalkion doing his artwork.
Yeah.
Because he is so in-depth into his music as well. Because he is a kick-ass bass player. And he, just to hang out with him because I like music, because I like the same music as him, because I like his art style and draw the same as him, you know, it could be a totally boring day. But because of the similarities and...
It's the sort of thing you still have in common.
Yeah.
I don't really idolise anybody. There's nobody that I can say, they're, you know, amazing, I'd love
I have
to
a
meet them or
secret
anything like that.
shrine at home dedicated to them.
I'm getting close.
I'm surprised you wouldn't hang out with John Romita Jr.
Oh god!
Because you'd be like, seriously, I just have to ask you.
If only to pull the trigger.
No. I have to ask you, how do you do it? How do you do it? I have to find out.
How can you draw so grappling?
And yet, be successful.
We were actually talking about that. I think it was me and Temma were talking about it earlier. And we were talking about it. What he does is he gets his dad's work, traces over it, then makes it square lines, and then releases it as his own. That's why they showed his father's work when he won the award.
This is what it looked like before he adjusted it.
Seriously, there's an ultimate secret edition of Kick-Ass that John Romita Sr. drew.
Wow, this is good!
We've got to find that edition.
I can actually get through the story now.
I thought there might have been a secret edition that Junior drew and didn't just copy his dad's work and release it as his, but... Tying in with that though, I know that you do like your music and I know that you do like artists and writers, and I'm surprised that Alan Moore's music isn't what would have pulled you in.
I don't know, Alan Moore is brilliant and everything like that, but he is so...
Just tapped in the head these days.
Yeah.
I think his ego's run away with him, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I tend to go with somebody like Dalkion because it would just be fascinating to see his process. You know, is he like me? Does he get halfway through a bit picture and go, screw this, I'm going to play like my guitar or my bass until I get back into the zone to be able to draw that.
But you know, just a place to finish something like that sometimes. And it'd be nice to know if someone that good actually sits and does all of it in one.
Yeah.
Or whether they actually do the leave and come back.
Just to see his process, just to be like hidden in the background and like get a chance to talk to him for half a day and then just see him create.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be amazing.
It would just be amazing to see something like that, I reckon.
I think a lot of maybe as a comic artist would do that whole would start drawing, take a break and go back, because if they just constantly sort of bang one after the other, you'd burn out really quickly.
Well, Dalkion has said so his artwork doesn't sacrifice, he is only going to do covers from now on. He'll never do internal artwork again. Because he doesn't want his artwork to sacrifice, and because he plays the bass so much.
I want to draw one picture of him.
Is he actually part of a band? Or
he actually started his band called Pit Crew, because Pit was big at the time, and his favourite band, I wouldn't say they're my favourite band, but the style, I can understand why he likes. His favourite band's Queensryche. And he likes things like Metallica and stuff like that. So he's into the 70s, 80s metal sort of stuff. And, you know, I can totally get behind that, because one of my favourite bands is Nevermore, and they have a style like that. The guitarist, I think the only person that's better than the guitarist is Steve Vai. So, you know, they're just amazing guitarists. You know, I'd love to meet them, but I think if I only had one choice, it would be Dalkion. It has everything in one.
Good answer.
Anyway, moving on to comics, or back to comics. Oh, actually, let's amalgamate. Music and comics. They're doing Kiss comics again. IDW has started doing Kiss comics again.
Are they going to have blood in the issues like the first ones?
That would be amazing,
They're actually
wouldn't it?
reproducing
Wouldn't that be amazing?
the Marvel ones.
Yeah, they are
Marvel
re-releasing
ones.
the original Marvel ones.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that the Kiss comics, the original Kiss comics, are the biggest comic ever done? They actually presented Kiss with the biggest comic ever produced, and it's like, it was as big as them.
That's how cool.
It was just, it was
How
like,
would you read
it got in
that?
the Guinness
You've
Book
been
of Records and
two
everything.
Is it even really to
I think
comic
it's
anymore
designed to
unless
be
it's just
read.
pages around?
It's just posters.
How do you bag that?
Hang
We
on,
need
we
a
need a
super
size,
treasury.
was it 1,000 bag?
We need a person-sized bag, please.
Body bag.
Body bag.
But yeah, they are starting Kiss comics. IDW keeps on doing it with all of these properties. They're bringing back so many things. Popeye, War of the Worlds.
Yep.
Not War of the Worlds. Why did I say
Mars
that? That would have been
Attacks.
good. Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks.
And now they're doing it with Kiss. They're bringing back so many things, and it's working. Everybody is buying this stuff, and it is just absolutely amazing. And I don't know, you said Kiss, you know, I don't know many people actually know that they actually did put their blood into the ink to do the Kiss
In the
comic.
first 20,000 issues, they actually mixed blood into the
It
ink.
was, they got some of their blood
Really?
which actually,
So just letting
funny.
you know,
Sounds like
if,
Kiss.
If you bought the first 20,000 copies, you may have AIDS.
And you've definitely got hepatitis.
Please stop licking the pages at this point.
Come with a health warning.
Warning,
Blind,
make
have an
it
open
wound.
Your children may have slightly longer tongues than normal.
Complete side note here. There was actually a comic released by Static X, about Static X at one point, and it actually had a CD with it. I got it because I was listening to Static X at that stage, and there was just this one point in it where they're interviewing them, and they're like, "So, what did you do in the creative process in this?" It said, "You know the whites on the pages, how they're nice and really white and everything? That's our semen." What? Not reading that comic.
Like, for real? Or?
Yeah, he was total straight faced, and it's like, yeah, that's what I did. That's our creative process.
Yeah, but I mean...
Thanks.
How many bodily
I'll go back to
in this comic?
I'll go back to the blood comic. Thanks. But yeah, going back to the Kiss comics. everybody has gone nuts. They've had Archie meets Kiss lately.
Yeah.
Archie crosses over with many, many different things. They've had it throughout the years, even to the point of having Punisher.
Yes, they did.
That was twisted.
Please tell me you killed a lot of them.
No, he was happy fun Punisher.
What?
Yeah, he was family pick with Punisher.
Oh my god.
He was Cadbury Purple Punisher. Oh, there's his theme song. He's coming.
I want to see that animated now.
You know, the Punisher just going around spanking people. You're a bad boy.
Oh, you've been a bad.
So anyway, Kiss Comics. They've tried it a few times, even to the point of having Psycho Circus, I think it was their tie-in to their album. A few bands have done it. Alice Cooper did it with Last Temptation.
I like that.
That was really well done. So really, it's always tied into music, and this is obviously going to tie into their music. It's them in makeup and the band people.
Yep.
Every time they try it, when it's not, it's terrible. I think Dream something, whatever that comic company was that was around before IDW started. They had the Transformers title for a little while.
I know the one you're talking about.
I cannot remember what they were called. They tried it, and it was like they were magical pixie people, and it's like, what the hell happened to Kiss? You know, they just had these superpowers and everything like that.
What, to say Gene Simmons' tongue doesn't stretch?
No, he turned into a snake or something.
That always stretches.
He was like from Saturn, had a stupid long tongue, and
He isn't from Saturn?
I know, right?
Well, Charlie Sheen's a rock star from Mars.
So many revelations in this book.
Oh my god! What sort of story could you possibly do with Kiss that could stretch an ongoing series?
I think possibly Gene Simmons' pending divorce and lawsuit. No. Look, I think that you can do a lot with that sort of thing. I think that you have to play to the camp side of their nature, which is makeup and costumes. And if you roll into that, you can make some pretty interesting
Would you
stories.
make him a superhero?
Bionic platforms.
They could be like a faux Justice League, if you will, and they could take off and take on the evils of the world.
Which one's Batman?
Whoever's got the Batman costume on.
No, you'd
I'm
have
Batman this week!
I think you'd have to give him some sort of moral and story. I mean, I know a lot of the Alice Cooper ones, he didn't have superpowers, but he had his snakes helping him and things like that, which that's fun, and you can have a lot of fun with it, and I think people buy it because it's a great piece to have collected that you can put on like a coffee table and look real good. It's a bit of a laugh if you're into the band and you can have it around as well. It's just a collector's thing.
Things like Harvey Birdman, Attorney Law, and stuff like that. How they're getting or C-Lab and stuff like that, the old cartoons, and they're making them campy and fun. And
that's
what you have to do with it. Like,
that's exactly right. It's a very 1970s, 80s style idea. Yeah, and it's really cool they've done that.
Would you tend to read something like that?
You know, it's funny that I wouldn't, but I've read a couple of the Alice Cooper ones and I had a lot of fun with them. I would read it.
Yeah. But anybody else?
As long as they weren't serious, I would get stuck into them.
They're not serious. Yeah.
I'd read it quickly, briefly. I'm not really into Kiss, so...
You're not a Kiss fan.
No, I would have a look at it just to see what it was all about.
It's not like you can hear the music in the comic.
See, I would buy that comic if it played the music when I opened it.
Open it up and it's like those cards.
It's America!
Start up!
Jesus. Well,
and in the beginning,
talking about music and comics, though, that's something that's always been a bit of a crossover. I mean, a lot of like artists and writers have wanted to mix. Writing. Excuse me. Music with their comics. You know, Alan Moore wanted to release an album with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's Black Dossier. So when you read it, you hear certain music at certain times.
Yep. I even there was actually a few comics that they did release where it was at the back of it. It actually told you which page to listen to what song and things like that, so you were actually had the soundtrack of the comic.
I really like that, and I like the idea of listening to music while you're reading a comic, because you can read and listen to music at the same time, and it can complement the feelings of what you're reading. So it's
I can totally understand that. It sort of throws me off a little bit. I remember the things like when you're kids and stuff like that, you get the little tapes, you put them in, and it reads the book for you.
I don't think I had a few of those.
I could go for that. Could you imagine Alan Moore reading The Watchmen for you if you just put a CD in?
I want an Alan Moore teddy bear with a big beard and a beer gut that sits there with a moving mouth.
even worse for kids. Leapfrog Punisher Max.
Oh dear God!
I'm Alan Moore. This is Watchmen the tape. Here we go, put it in. Yeah, the hell with this.
The hell with this. I could just imagine the bear, you know, it's got like sensors in it, you fall asleep. I am so gonna rape you when you fall asleep.
If it goes near it's got like a GPS, if it goes near a church, I believe in a Roman God. I believe in a Roman God.
It's like you start to fall asleep, you hear, your soul is required in hell!
Oh, that's... And then at random times just bursts into throat singing, because that's what he does these days.
Oh, that's terrible. Back to IDW. Back to IDW. So the KISS stuff is coming out, and they are releasing so many of these things that have been released before. I'm expecting things like He-Man and like Thundercats and all these things that were big in Marvel. They're going to end up with them. They're releasing all of these things. Do you think that's a good marketing thing, or do you reckon they're just trying to like get our money through nostalgia, or just...
Look, I think that it's a test. I think it's a test from both sides. I think that they're doing they're testing to see if people will buy it. If they're going to reclaim the money on nostalgia sales without worrying. If they do really well, then it's good. They'll probably do it as an ongoing thing. If not, they'll probably count it as a nostalgia thing that they've done for fun. Yeah. So it work. They win either way.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I can see that.
I don't think they'll
it's
lose
a brilliant,
brilliant too many people
marketing nostalgia campaign. Really,
yeah,
just a big money grab. Mm-hmm. They do it well, excellent. But I think it's a money grab.
They're all in for the money. They're not like, oh, I remember these as a kid. I want to release.
No business does things for fun, for the right reasons. It's always a money making.
Although realistically, how long has Spider-Man been going on for? Realistically, you could say
50
that's,
years.
you can still say that's a nostalgia thing.
I can actually tell you
it's a good story.
Yeah.
It's a good story. It's going to be amazing. So it all depends on the writers, the artists.
What story they've got to tell.
Yeah, that's
more than anything. Yeah.
Everything is a money grab. Why do you think there's 5 Twilight movies? It's crazy.
Good point. Good point.
I just thought it was because there was a lot of stupid Americans, but we can just...
Yeah.
I thought that too. It's like, we got one movie left. God damn it, we're going to do something.
Split it into 2.
Yes! Should have just made another 5 movies.
Yeah. We could have made each one of them 3.
Let's go back and remake them as 3 movies each.
Well, if it was Superman, you know they would.
In 3D!
They're going to do. They were trying to make Hunger Games into the next Twilight sort of thing.
Yeah.
Trying to get all the things.
I kept on hearing that, and the moment I heard the synopsis for Hunger Games, I thought Battle Royale.
Yes.
It's
more like Battle
It's Battle Royale for Twilight fans.
But I was laughing at it as well. It's like it's Battle Royale, except they're using bow and arrows. I'm just like, really? Like, can't just be giving guns like Battle Royale is more fun.
There's something about Battle Royale's focused more on the battle, while Hunger Games is focused more on the before and the after of it. It's not really focused on the event itself. But yeah, you can, if you read that synopsis, there's no way you can avoid that comparison. It's the same thing. You know, Even like Stephen King said,
straight away.
It's Battle Royale meets 2 of my works.
But I've no problem with that idea, but you're kind of not focusing on the best parts of that story synopsis then. I don't want to see the after effects and a bunch of little juvie kids from killing each other. Oh, wow, it's so bad.
It wouldn't be a bunch, it'd only be one left.
Thank God for that.
I want to watch an action movie, which I want to watch essentially after Speed finished, an in-between bit where they're completely wrecked because...
Well, it's called post-traumatic stress disorder. Don't want to watch that. It's not fun.
Just Keanu Reeves hanging from a beam. Just
crying.
Hanging from a beam like, whoa, man. This almost looks real.
You just keep on flashing images of Keanu Reeves. Dude.
I'm the one.
Dude.
Talking of nostalgia though, do you think that maybe a Bill and Ted movie will be done again?
Apparently they're supposed to be doing it.
Oh, God.
They are working on it.
Is that a nostalgia grab or is that doing it for the right reasons?
I think it's nostalgia.
It is just working on that. I mean, it is the original guys, Keanu Reeves and...
Alec Winters, I think.
The other guy.
Yeah. The other guy who did nothing other than Lost Boys. Yeah. Apparently they're coming back and they want to make it more they're adults and their kids are growing up and all that sort of stuff. So
I don't think that would work.
I think they're trying to...
Why not?
They're seeing all these things out at the moment, like Ninja Turtles coming back and stuff like that, and all these things coming back, and they want to bring it to another generation.
I know why it wouldn't work, because George Carlin isn't in it.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's not there, it's not worth it.
No.
You can't do it without Rufus.
Yeah.
I mean, they could CG him.
You run a really big risk with doing nostalgia things like that, and the fact that
Yeah.
a lot of things are period based. You know, like you'll get things which are really fun for a target audience then, but kids these days will look at it and go,
What the hell?
I want none of
Wayne's
this.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And like even if
You
were
can
to
never
get
do
kids-
something like that nowadays.
No.
No.
If you were to get kids these days and try and run through watching things like, you know, early Dragon Ball Z, or like, you know, the cartoons that as kids that we would have watched.
Yeah.
This is
Kids
Final
these days
Tap.
would be like looking at it going,
Yeah.
what's this?
Yeah.
What am I watching?
Yep.
I don't like this.
Early Dragon Ball were like, what? Penis.
But yeah, you look at it, was it rather than doing sort of another sort of thing of, you know, this is Spinal Tap, you had Metalocalypse, which was
Yeah.
a different take on that same idea.
Jumping in on this, and this is totally separate from everything I was trying to talk about. Xenoscope, I call them Zenoscope. They're actually trying to raise funds at the moment to get the people that did Metalocalypse to animate their Grim Fairy Tales comics.
Really?
Interesting.
And there's a few samples on there, and it does actually look quite interesting. They want to do a different style for each story. Each episode is going to be in a different
That would
art
be
style.
very
It's like
interesting.
they've gone to them for the animation for it.
It is really strange because they wanted to get it on Adult Swim, and they're the biggest people doing
I would
Adult
have
Swim.
thought
at the
that the
moment.
guys who are doing things like Archer right now would have been the best animators
Yeah.
to do something like that, because their animation is really good. Like,
hell
it's,
yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
beautiful, and it'd be more correct to the artwork.
That's
Yeah.
what I would have thought
The
as well.
artwork's
Which-
good in those
Which
books.
company did the Lady Death animated movie?
Oh, I can't remember. That was just some weird independent one.
Yeah,
I was going to say that would
really
work
wasn't
with the
anything
Grim
major.
Fairy Tale stories in that.
It would, but I think it would be too hard to do something like that. The fact that they've got somebody, or rather a team,
Like
the
an
people
ongoing
that
team.
work,
Yeah,
an established
I can't
team,
even
yeah.
remember what they're called. It was something weird. The people that actually created Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to have Metalocalypse as a different style each episode.
Yep.
So, because each of their artists wanted to do a different style.
Yeah.
So, basically, once they get the funding, they can go to them and, like, 10 artists work on 10 different episodes. They've got half a season done already.
You get a full season done like that. It's so good.
So, it's quite an interesting thing, and it should be interesting to see if they actually get it underway.
Do get the money done.
Because if you actually support them, if you donate money to them, it's just a pledge at the moment, so, you know, you don't pay out straight away. But there's prizes right up to the point where if you... I think it was like $10,000. If you're, you know, supportive enough to give them $10,000, you get copies of the comics signed, all of them signed. You get digital copies of them. You get a DVD copy of the season once it's done. You get flown out to the studios. You become a character and voice actor in the series.
Wouldn't you say that bit first?
Yeah.
Everything else just seems kind of...
I was like a comic book, yeah.
Yeah,
If
comic
you
book,
give 10 grand, I kind of
yeah,
think
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And you say,
I was like,
you-
voice actor, what the?
You become voice actor and they draw you into the series.
See, there are
If you pledge $10,000. Their goal is to reach $180,000 or something like that, because that's their initial outlay to actually get the series started.
Do you know how much they're sitting on now? Or?
Last look, most people are pledging around about the $30 mark, which gets them trade paperback signed.
Yep.
But last look, they were up to around about 80,000.
Okay,
So they're not that far
Yeah.
off.
This is
I-
So if they get two people just to chuck
I've seen
in,
massive projects that
Oh,
got
hell
help more than
yeah.
that.
so if they get
easily.
at least just say two people throw in 10,000, that's
Yep.
like boom, done.
and straight away you're into it. But there is only one voice actor role. So there's only one person can donate.
So if you get
10,000.
two people who do donate 10,000, it's like a battle to the death to decide who
First one that's done it gets it.
First
So,
come, first served.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
So they write on there that these are all out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. So yep,
Oh, okay.
as soon as you've done it, that's it. But it would be absolutely amazing. I'm going to go straight from here to animated comics, because that's essentially
The same thing.
Yeah.
sort of the same thing.
cartoons.
No, like the Watchmen graphic ones they did.
Yeah,
and
they
they've
did
done them for a
Watchmen,
couple.
they did Iron Man,
Iron
Extremis,
Man, yeah.
Thor
they
and
did
Loki, Blood Brothers.
Astonishing X-Men.
Yep.
They did the first run on that, the first story arc there. It seems really lazy to me. I mean, fair enough, they are actually going in and they're getting their artists to draw the exact same style as the artist that drew the comic. And they're lifting it from the page, so they're redrawing backgrounds and all that sort of stuff. but I don't know. It seems sort of half-assed.
It does seem lazy to me initially, because I remember when I first saw the Watchmen one that they'd done, I was like, this is very lazy. This is photocopying that and then moving it quickly and then making voiceover. But upon watching it, I actually really enjoyed it. I think it's because I do enjoy comics, and I think that's why.
I think it's got to be the right one. Like, I like the Watchmen one because it is a dark and gritty sort of thing. Like, you can't have an Archie comic doing it. It's just going to be horrible and annoying. But
no, you're right.
Yeah.
So does everybody think that it's a lazy form?
No, I like it.
Because initially I did, but then I realised that you're going to have to get voice actors in and do all that. It's not...
When you look into it, it would actually require more work than just normal animating it. If you just took the story, the script from the comic, and animated it yourself, it would be so much easier.
But having to sort of keep the designs and that frame by frame
perfect,
to exactly
the way
to
it
the
was.
comic and that definitely wouldn't tell. So it's not lazy. It's just the only thing sort of lazy about it is not having to sort of come up with storyboarding like ideas and then going, which style could we draw it in? It's like that initial sort of planning stage has already been done for you.
Have you watched any animated comics?
I've only seen a few of the ones that were like on extras on DVDs. Like,
did you enjoy any of them?
They weren't too bad because they.
Would you have preferred to have seen them in traditional animation?
I'd have to go back with what Callum said, right? Depending on what one
style
depending on the
subject
actual,
and everything like that.
Because the one I saw was on I think it was the Hellboy 2 Golden Army disc, and that was done exactly the way the comics were done.
I can understand that. That, mind you, Mike Mignola, however they want to pronounce his name. He's got a very simple art style to try and replicate. So a team could work on that. Have you seen any of the animated comics?
I've seen a lot of stuff online. I haven't seen any proper animated comics.
Actually, it's sort of like the ones that they do online. Yeah,
I think that's an excellent idea.
It's very good.
If it's an original idea.
It's like that. Well, it comes right down to essentially being the same as manga and anime.
Yeah.
Because, anime is just animated manga books. Essentially, it's the same story and all that sort of stuff. It's just transposed from one medium to another.
Except they have to do 25 frames a second.
Well,
that's
most of the anime I've watched lately is just one picture sliding across.
Like the Mr. Gunman or whatever, that one. That's 25 frames an episode.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what, I think though as well, and it's a really big thing, is that a lot of animated comic books I've read, like proper animated cartoons, you watch it and there's a very high probability of them doing it wrong.
Oh yeah,
the artwork being wrong, the animator doing something which you don't like, the style of art changing,
getting the wrong voice actor.
Yeah, with like a motion comic, they tend to stick pretty close to the source material.
They do.
So you're never really going to stray too far wrong. I think that's
it works for fans more so than for new people coming into it.
Definitely.
New people coming into it go, what the hell is this? It makes no sense. But for fans of the comic medium, it's probably a good way to go. Do you remember the old Max series, 2Xs?
Yes.
They did an animation of it. They had it on
TV
Liquid
series?
Television?
Yeah, Liquid Television.
Yeah. They did 20 episodes, I believe it was, of that. I went back and saw it recently.
You burned it for me, remember?
Yeah, I got a few. Yeah.
We do not endorse piracy.
No. I bought one and he set it on fire.
That's okay.
Before I started doing these shows and everything like that, I actually had a series called Augment, and what I had on it was BioBurn. And everybody was like, you can't say that, you can't say BioBurn, how dare you say piracy and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm saying this is crap, burn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, jumping back to Max. I went back and watched it recently, and they have actually re-released it. You can download it on the iPhone and things like that. It's like $1 an episode or something like that. Because it was done Flash animation. And I go back and watch it now, and it's like, I remember more happening.
Yes.
And, there's... The one that I really, really remember was him sitting in the back of a cop car. And it's like, they've washed out they've recorded from in the back of a cop car with a video camera these two guys talking. They've washed it out with a black wash, and then they've just got Max. They've drawn a picture of Max and slowly dragged him down the screen. And it's like a 2-minute scene of just him slowly going downward. It's like, I remember more happening. Fair enough.
It's like, we could animate this scene, but why?
I know you're supposed to be paying attention to the story, but it was that time period. Liquid Television was very sloppy and very lazy with their animation. So it was like, how lazy can we be? Slowly moving image. That's lazy. Go with that.
Although it was lazy, I think it was just low budget.
It was low budget and it was stylistic for what it was.
Yeah, a lot of it was stylistic and trying to see what they could get away with. And I think that a lot of the time they didn't give the shows a budget because they thought they'd never go anywhere. A lot of them were never finished.
Yeah. Well, you know Rocky Horror Picture Show? You know the castle blasting
No!
You know the castle blasting off is actually just them having a picture of the house in front of it and just moving it upwards? Like, literally, that's what they did.
I need to go now.
I love that show.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's what I was Monty Python and Holy Grail. You see the castle, and it's like it's not really the castle that they actually shoot in. It's just a picture of it because
everybody always goes for easy, basic ways of doing all of these sorts of things because you're working with a budget. You can't make a castle take off. Okay, we need 14 rockets underneath this.
Well, actually, get a model, some wires, some bit of pyro, done.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, I was going to say, somehow they give Michael Bay the budget to do it.
We need an American flag and more explosions! I'm just a sweet, grand...
And at the end, he jumps in the sky, bursts into an American flag, and there's fire!
Michael Bay there laughing.
And he's an alien.
And his flag goes down and an American flag pops out.
Yeah, but in Rocky Horror it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Talking about bad movies, Mars Attacks is a bad movie.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
So
a
bad it's
campy
good?
movie.
It was
Yeah,
funny.
I
It was-
enjoyed it.
I mean, it was
I
funny,
forced
but-
my parents to take me to the cinemas to watch it. They were like, "You want to watch what? It's a comic book. Take me to watch it."
I actually remember Mars Attacks. That was Tim Burton going through his weird phase. I was like, he
Uh,
never.
When he went through a phase,
He's always been in a
Another
weird phase.
for a phase.
That was
I think it was weird
Just
because
after he was born.
it was weird because they didn't have Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah. It was weird. Why wasn't Johnny Depp in
Well,
this?
there you go. It was in his not working with Johnny Depp phase.
One movie.
I always find it funny how he has to pair his wife with Johnny Depp in
Yeah,
every movie he works.
Well, how else
I
is he
just
going to have
really
his
like-
survey in the camper van?
Actually, when there was
I just
Harry
really
Potter,
like seeing Johnny Depp kiss my wife.
Yeah.
It's great.
like whenever you see either of them now, you're like, where's the other one? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Aren't they chained to each other or something?
Where do they go?
Helen Bonham Carter's in,
Maybe he's
like
ducking
Harry Potter.
behind like
Where's Johnny Depp?
a chair or something.
Now imagine that as a musical.
I really think it will work. I actually have...
I agree, because it is that kind of musical
Yes, it is.
theme.
It's like schlock and fun, and the whole idea is that you don't take it seriously and you enjoy it.
Are the aliens
on a
going to sing?
chihuahua, for God's sake.
Are the
Yeah, why
aliens
don't they
going to
put a
sing?
horse's head on a chihuahua?
I mean, what are the songs going to be?
That's
I'm
like
gonna disintegrate.
I don't know. I don't care as long as it's not you two doing music for Spider-Man. I don't care.
But look at Dr. Horrible. That was literally about a horrible villain making a video blog of him trying to destroy
That
the
was
world.
well done. That was
That was
just
Yeah,
amazing.
just when during the writer's strike. It was brilliant. Favourite movie. Hands down.
I still got to actually watch that. Now.
It's really good.
Yeah.
that.
Musical stuff can be done well, very well.
Musical stuff can be done well, but
think,
they always try. I mean, I think they did Batman, and that was better acclaim than Spider-Man. But Spider-Man,
But
well,
that's-
it was Spider-Man.
Look, Batman and Spider-Man don't really owe themselves to being musicals. You know, they really don't. Whereas something
Really?
which is campy
Except
and
for
fun.
that musical scene in Spider-Man 3.
I'd actually forgotten that.
I managed to
you
block
just-
that out.
You
Ken.
always remind us about that.
Just made
Wait,
him
wait.
go
I've got
home
one worse.
and have a drink now.
Got one worse. Bad credit card.
Bad credit. Do the bat dance.
The Bad Toothy. Pure West.
I need any molded plastic for my physique.
If anyone's got a bottle of scotch, please send it here. I think a few of us need it now.
Oh, so wrong. Musicals. Would you actually watch a musical?
No.
Yes.
Like, if, say, your favourite thing your absolute favourite thing, I don't think anybody's favourite thing is Mars Attacks, but if your favourite thing was announced to be a musical, would you watch it?
Yes, I would, and I'd go and see the Mars Attacks. If they gave me tickets tomorrow and said, there you go, it's up in Perth, you take the trek up there or you don't, here's a free ticket, I would definitely go and see it.
If I got given a free ticket, I would be there in a shot.
Whether... You know, like if someone said to me, "Yeah, it was free," I don't know if I'd pay money for it because I don't.
If somebody said, "Hey, it's $120 for a ticket. Do you want to go and see Mars Attacks with me?"
Probably not for that much, no.
Yeah.
But if someone gave me a free ticket, I'd probably see it.
Yeah.
I think that's with any musical. I mean, they for some insane reason, there's like the prices are that big. So I mean, it's like, do you really?
There's a lot goes into production.
So much production goes.
So yeah.
But I mean, with that said, it's like you can just go see a movie for $16 and it costs them like, say, 80 million to make, sort of thing, or whatever big project.
Different experience though.
Yeah,
it's
a really different experience.
I mean, with the live element, there's always that something could go wrong type thing.
Yeah. Those are usually the funnier moments if it's a comedy.
Not just that, it's like with the musical and stuff like that, it sort of brings the whole audience. You're all a part of it.
Exactly. They try to absorb you into it.
But that would make it more of a theatre thing than a movie thing. I mean, like, because I always notice that there's a stigma with the musical. I mean, like, behind the budget and all that. There's someone, like, bringing back to Johnny Depp again, like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
People would getting that out and then bring it back going, this is a musical. I don't want a musical. I thought it was a horror.
Did you read the box? Like
it says genre, music.
Yes.
That's as far as it goes. I mean,
I enjoyed Sweeney Todd as a musical movie. I enjoyed Dr. Horrible as a musical movie, and I really, really liked it. But that said, if I got to see those live as musicals without the famous actors, I'd do it. Because I really like the idea of musical, and it's a real personal thing being there and actually watching someone do music live.
I'm not so sure about a series that I want to see made into a musical, but I know a musical I want to see made into a series or into a movie. Avenue Q.
Yeah.
Because I saw that. That was so much fun. That was an amazing show. I would just love to see that again.
Do you reckon that they would do it justice if they? Well, I mean,
yeah, I think so. I mean, like, even no matter what city they went to, they always had people who sounded the same. And if you got voice actors, they're basically voice actors.
Yeah.
So, like, just showing them on screen and the whole the whole meta thing. Like, look, we're playing puppets on screen. That'd be fun to me. But yeah.
That would be interesting.
It would be a very good series. I like it.
I can't think of anything that I want changed into a musical at the moment.
Would you watch something like one of your favourites? Would you watch it if it were a musical?
Yes, but because I have that weird comedy mind that goes through, I'd watch Mass Effect as a full-on stupid comedy musical.
And the sad thing is, they could do it, and it would probably work as well. That's because you have to understand that musical theatre is camp. It's very camp. Okay, there's no way around that. But it's fun, and it draws you in because it's fun.
Yep.
Brings you back to Rocky Horror, doesn't it?
Would you? Oh yeah.
That's the only musical that I could really say I enjoyed.
I always wondered.
Probably the only person in this group who's actually seen it.
What?
No, at a theatre.
At theatre.
No, I haven't seen it in the theatre. I've seen the movie umpteen times.
With these movies, I always wondered, do they write the songs first and then make the plot around that, or do they make the plot first and make songs for it?
It was a stage show way before it was a movie.
Yeah, it was always written as
songs. No, but does that mean that they made up all the songs and then they thought this would be good to put it into this story?
Yeah, they did the songs first because, like, Andrew Lloyd Webber, who's done things like The Phantom and Cats and stuff like that, he says he writes the music first, then fits
he
the
wrote
story.
Time Warp, and then he goes, "Sweet Transvestite." Now, what would work with those two together?
Time Warp and a Sweet Transvestite.
I think they have like a rough sort of idea of where it goes, but then they tend to write the music, then do the filler after.
You know, the worst thing, I can just see if he had done Back to the Future, it would have been a
Actually, I saw that on the commentary for one of the South Park episodes. It's for the High School Musical episode, because they said, you've got to do a musical episode. And they're like, we've got like 6 days. I said, we can't write songs in 6 days. That's great. Then they went and watched High School Musical, and they went, these songs have got nothing to do with the plot. They're just singing about hippies. This is easy. So then they agreed they'll do it then.
What's that one?
It was like they're just sort of sitting around. All of a sudden, the girls just start singing for no reason, and the guys join in. They're like, "What the crap's going on?"
I like the end of that episode when they start doing music, and everyone's just like,
I was like, "You're an idiot."
They're just following that one kid.
Yeah,
it's like just watch High School Musical. That's it. I'm out. I'm going to kill myself. See ya.
Oh wow! Okay, we are reaching the 1 hour mark.
Questions.
We're gonna have to head over to forum questions now, because we're gonna go way over time again.
As usual.
So, forum questions. We have one from Tim. I don't know if he'd want his surname said, so I'm just going to go with Tim. He'll know who he is. What do you guys think about DC's plan to do a new Watchmen series?
Not thinking.
Not thinking?
Not thinking.
Not thinking? Do you like Watchmen at all?
I like the movie.
You
I
like
reckon
the
it
movie?
was probably an excellent graphic novel. I don't think it'd go well into a animated form.
Okay.
I think they released it too late. Like, it sounds like something they should have released around when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like that's when they were aiming for, and they went, no, we'll wait a while.
yeah.
And now it's kind of come out on the back burners of it, like, kind of...
I like that though,
yeah.
because they've got a good writing team, and I think they might be trying harder because they're not trying to push a movie.
I am really surprised the people they've got working on the titles.
Great.
I'm just wondering what they're going to cover, because they covered a lot of, like, Dr. Manhattan's backstory already.
That's
They
one of
went
the
to
weirdest
Rorschach's
things.
backstory in the movie, so... Like, what exactly are they going to cover? Is it going to be extra stuff? Like,
As far as I was concerned, Dr. Manhattan's story was told in the movie. That's
Yeah.
basically the movie,
Nobody
or
wants to know the
rather,
life
the
of
story
the Watchmaker.
is
Yeah.
about him. But they have a terrific team working on the Dr. Manhattan title.
They have a great team.
It is going to be an amazing thing. They've got one of their best writers and a brilliant artist working on the title. So I'm going to read it simply because they've got a great team working on it. But I find it totally pointless doing it.
As I said, like, I think it would be really interesting, especially if they go into the time between when he had his accident and when he fully manifests.
Yep.
To see him try and, like, because you have all the knowledge of the world, you know.
Instantly.
Yeah,
Like,
everything. You are.
It's 24 pages of, like, then my spleen appeared above me. Ribs appeared over here.
Not so much like the actual physical body,
Yeah,
but
mental
more like the
transition.
mental transition, because you can actually bring a lot of time space and, you know, all the advances we've actually done in theoretical physics and stuff like that you can bring into it.
Yep.
And
Well, some of the stuff we have to think of is mind degradation as well, from being a full compassionate human being to becoming this robotic person he is at the end.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to explore that side, which is
Just
never really
see it
referenced
span
in The
through.
Watchmen.
And there's some characters that you would want to know about the past, but some of them you don't really care how they came about.
See, that's the thing, that was
yeah.
the main problem with The Watchmen, is some characters you don't really need to know more
Well,
about them.
there's-
Rorschach was basically born when he killed the first person he killed. So to me, his backstory starts there, and it's completely...
So-
you're
until-
going back to
until
him
he got
being
to that
normal guy
point, he
sort of
was-
thing.
yeah.
You know,
we should say spoilers here, really, shouldn't we, in case somebody starts reading this.
true. Yeah.
Spoiler alert!
There'll be a big spoiler version on the video version. If you're listening to the audio, too late.
No, I think everybody actually knows that it's just going to try and fill in the backstories of all of these characters.
It
But
is.
anybody who read it probably already knows what they're worth.
I mean, there's a big thing in that is that the Minutemen is something that I'm really looking forward to. They're doing a 6-issue Minutemen run.
What surprises me so much is the fact that they're doing miniseries for each character.
That surprised me. I thought it was one issue per person.
Yep, one title per person, cover just a one shot, maybe 48 pages, something like that, make it a big one. And they're going for 6 or 4 issue miniseries for each character. That's just...
Well,
that's
with a couple of the characters, there actually was in the movie you had the Minutemen, and then was it later on? There's like a few of them where people had just picked up the mantle from the previous sort of
like Night
Owl.
I reckon
was it
Night
Silk
Owl's gonna be-
Spectre? Silk Spectre. But it was
I reckon
a daughter.
Night Owl's going to be a great title.
I think
Well,
Silk
I
Spectre
reckon
could
they've got
be
the best team on that, haven't they?
Oh yeah. They've got Night Owl has J. Michael Straczynski, who's a terrific writer for over-the-top characters. He can really bring them down to earth. And Joe and Adam Kubert are working on the art for it. So yeah.
Well, I think it could be real. Like Silk Spectre is a really interesting one because you can go two ways with her. Like first getting it from her mum and getting addicted to crack. She is a crack addict.
It's not something that nobody deals with anyway.
Yeah.
You read it.
What would be amazing is doing her going into rehab. Could
Yeah.
you imagine a hero going into rehab?
Yep.
Like,
Have they actually ever explored that?
DC's the only ones that will touch on something like that. The first time they really majorly did it was with Speedy.
yeah.
And he was, a drug addict.
Yeah,
and,
he was a
Roider or
Sorry?
was it Roids or
No, it was heroin. wasn't it?
it was heroin. Yeah,
They actually have a
went
rare,
full on.
rare cover art with
Yeah.
the needle on the front, and
Yeah.
it's actually
Yeah.
banned now. You're not allowed to have the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although there was, I do recall a cover of a really old, I think it was a Batman or something.
Yeah,
where they had a
there's the
needle,
old
but
ones
that was
before
before,
the
the
medical
code
one,
came
wasn't
out.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
There
before the code came out.
The implication of needles nowadays is drugs.
Very taboo in
Yeah.
comic books,
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Especially
I
with the
think-
code. If you want to stick to the code, you are not allowed to have so many things on the cover.
Well, I mean, if you look at a lot of the comics these days, I mean, how rigidly do they stick to the code these days? Because they
Since
really
Image-
they really grabbed the line and have really started to.
When Image
Independent.
started 20 years ago, they were the first ones to break the mold and say, we want to do what we want to do. We're independent artists and we're going to make something big. And they managed to start selling comics without the code on it. Only then did Marvel and DC say,
Produce mass
these
samples.
guys are doing it. They are getting all of these sales despite not having this comic book code. Because news agencies weren't allowed to put the comics out unless they had the code on it.
Okay.
So once Image started doing that, then it was like free reign. You know, go for it. Put whatever you want in. Just make sure it's we associate it to specifically an adult series
Wasn't
and
that
things
why
like
they got
that.
Max and Vertigo?
Yeah. Max, Vertigo, Icon
Yes,
is an imprint of Marvel, which most people don't even realise. So is Millerworld. Millerworld is sort of an imprint of Icon, which is an imprint of Marvel, which is an imprint of Disney now.
Try and say that 3 times fast.
But yeah, going back to what we're talking about though with the Watchmen thing, I think it can go two ways really. Some of them I think are going to be needless forays into characters that are already explained. I think that the Rorschach one is really just completely unnecessary. There's nothing we can learn about that character that will change it at all.
Yep.
The comedian is another one whose backstory is fairly full. I mean, it's going to be filler.
I guess for people that have watched the movie, I think it would be more poignant to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they haven't had the extended universe that the people that have read the book has.
I think that for a lot of people, the Minutemen one would be helpful in the fact that a lot of the answers to who the Minutemen were, their identities, what killed them, who they were in their lives, is actually in the comic book.
Yeah.
But it's mixed in with the articles that are in there. A lot of people breeze through those.
Yeah,
Not everybody wants to read the 52-page Night Owl book that's in there. Not everybody wants to read the news articles that are slapped across it.
Yeah.
And it's in those things that you find out the hints of who characters are.
Yeah,
And I think that for them to do a comic series based on the Minutemen will kind of show people that if they didn't want to read that.
Yeah,
And
introduce
I have
them
no
to
problem with that. That's fine.
further knowledge. Yeah, I can sort of understand that. My main problem with it was DC's New 52 is no longer the New 52. It's
No.
been going for 8 months now. It came out at a time where it was like their sales are dropping now. Everybody's dropping tons and tons of DC titles because it's like, oh wait, it's still just the crappy stories. They're not giving me anything good. We're getting to the point where people have stopped getting Justice League simply because Jim Lee stopped doing the artwork. He's coming back in issue 10. Start buying it again.
That's
you know,
funny, though,
is
because
it?
I saw their top 10 list of comic sales. The top 10 sellers are DC Comics now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But their sales started to drop off because the New 52 is starting to just wane off, and they're starting to just weed through them and go for the specific titles that they want. And when it was first announced, I thought they're just doing this as like Watchmen. Everybody's like, Watchmen. Watchmen's awesome. Okay, I'm definitely going to buy that. You know, it just came at such a time where it was like, we need more money. You know, bring out something that everybody's going to want again.
Well, it ties into that nostalgia conversation earlier, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I was a little bit worried that was going to be the case, but then once I saw the artists and writers that they have working on the titles, it was just like, wow.
That worry vanishes when you see that production team. You kind of realise that these are people, these are veteran writers, and they're really good, and they're not going to release something that's subpar.
One of the first complaints was, how dare somebody else write it than Alan Moore? You know, if you're going to do a Watchmen tie-in and stuff like that, how dare anybody but Alan Moore write it? Once I saw this team, I didn't care, but for starters,
Would you want
Alan Moore...
writing another one right now?
Well, no, definitely not. But, you know, even the Watchmen wasn't traditionally the Watchmen. It was supposed to be another superhero team. It was originally the Charlton Comics character.
Yes, it was. It was
and then it turned into the Watchmen. Yeah. So, you know, you can't exactly have a go at somebody else writing somebody else's characters.
That's right.
It just gets a little ludicrous after a while. But I think they will be good. I definitely think the titles will be good because of the teams they have working on them,
Yep.
but I think they will be ultimately unnecessary.
And they won't have
If
that
you are a
lasting
fan-
impact that the Watchmen
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
So it'll just, like, if you look back on it 20 years from now, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember read Watchmen. You know,
Everybody
I had a
wants-
prequel series.
Yeah,
No.
they had what?
I actually remember the movie because I actually went. It came out. I was a couple
I
of
know
days
you saw
before
it,
my
yeah,
birthday, and I actually went and saw it on that day. Funny enough, the night before, I actually saw Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th.
Which is the perfect time to watch it. Anybody else? Watchmen?
No, I reckon
Yeah.
that it's they're going to be good for people like me who've only seen the movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
See,
Fill in
I
a few of the
never
blanks.
read the comics, so I've got no idea about backstories or anything except for what I saw in the movie. So
Mm.
I think I'll
these
enjoy
comics will be
them.
good.
Do you think that
Yeah.
they'll release anything new in them, or do you reckon it'll all be just rehash? The order they're released in, I think that the Ozymandias one might have a sequel.
I
at the
think
end.
that they'll actually tie them together. I think because they've got Straczynski working on 2 titles
Yeah.
and Azzarello working on 3 titles, and then one other person working on the other 2 titles. I think that they're going to try and... The writers will try and tie them together before the Watchmen
Yeah.
sort of thing, so there will be hints at other things. And
Yeah.
I think that it will lead to the point where they are going to have an opening if it's successful to
To do
further
more.
it.
Yeah, I think I agree with your announcement earlier, though. I think good, but ultimately unnecessary.
Yeah. Anybody else? Opinions?
Sounds
Tim
like-
wants to know. Come on.
For me, we're doing a prequel series. You don't usually do that unless you're planning on maybe doing something set after, like, was it a main story? So,
What?
like,
Yeah, but they
You
couldn't
should see a
rewrite.
prequel after the main story?
Yes.
no, I mean,
If they've got a
you don't-
story and they're going to do a
No, I
prequel,
mean,
they've
as
got to
in-
do a sequel, so it's a trilogy.
No, but
Shut up, Star Wars,
basically-
man.
It's a prequel to the sequel. It's a pre-sequel.
Okay, I won't
pre-
explain myself.
pre-sequel.
I'll just, shut up now, right?
You guys don't deserve to hear what I have to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't
Just
deserve
gonna
it.
shut up and you
Right,
guys
right.
just go for it.
I think I said my opinion at first.
Yeah. Matt?
No,
No,
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, there you go, Tim. Next question. Okay, when you're sending questions through, especially when it's on something like emails or something like that, I'm not going to tell somebody what your email address is. So please
name would
put
be
your
good.
name on it as well as the question, just so I can put something on there. Or if you want like a nickname or something, anything like that. Because this next one comes from Mr. Question Mark. Ooh, it comes from the question.
All the riddle.
No, the riddle.
Riddle me this! If you had the talent to write or draw any character, I'm going to go a little bit further, or title, which character / title would you work on? Would you like to work on? If you had the talent to do the art or the writing, which character or title would you like to work on?
Should we work in a clockwise fashion? It seems to
Yeah, let's start with Ray.
Oh, damn it! if I had to, I'd work with one of my own characters because I write at home. I'd use one of my own characters. I don't like using other people's work. That's just me personally.
Because everyone else's ideas are crap.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
But,
think my work is good.
But, yeah,
Okay. If you had the ability to change your story to fit into something like Batman, and somebody was prepared to give you $1 million to do it, would you convert it into a Batman story and be happy with that?
No, I wouldn't be happy with it. I could make a new character that would fit into Batman, but I wouldn't be happy
So you
with
got
that.
Kevin Smith for it.
Yeah, I would.
Right, someone just offered you $1 billion and you said no.
You said no.
No, I'm not doing it.
I would do it. I wouldn't be happy with it.
Anything I wouldn't do for $1 million, I'd be happy with it.
Just give me a lollipop and a little schoolboy's outfit, I'm fine. Matt?
I would do our character, Antimatter Man.
Antimatter Man.
Yes.
Yep.
If you're made of
That is
matter,
cool.
you cannot beat him.
To do something like that, because that does work into a superhero universe. I've read a lot of Ray's stuff. It doesn't really work into a lot of the preset stuff. Yours would set into a universe that's already out there. Which universe would you put it into? Marvel, DC, we're going...
Probably more DC, because I can see him doing a lot more damage.
It's not just that, like Marvel have already got Molecule Man.
Yeah.
Molecule Man and Antimatter Man would have a bit of a grind.
Does Molecule Man exist?
Yes.
He would lose.
because they technically nullify each other, and because you're
could a
antimatter,
molecule
you would
make
thereby
himself
just get
antimatter?
eaten by air. You would displace the
Because
amount of air
antimatter
that
is
are
generated
around
at the same
and you
time
were
as
already
matter.
defeated.
So they're an opposite reaction of each other. So if he fires something at him, it would automatically cause a chain reaction, causing it all to explode.
Yeah, so they just both explode.
Well, actually, was
No, he's over here.
the thing
Everything would explode.
You can't say the rules of physics work over here, but not over here. I pick and choose when physics works.
You're saying that there's physics in the world of Superman?
No.
When you're dealing with antimatter,
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to deal with
What
it.
if it's a different type of antimatter?
So you're going for Spock antimatter.
Yes, I am. Yes.
And so you go with Antimatter Man. You'd rather not work on a set character basis that's already out there. Although you would integrate it into a universe that's already known to comic readers.
In my universe, Molecule Man is just some idiot in a costume.
I'm made of antimatter.
So yes, in my universe, Molecule Man would lose.
Perfect. Okay, Josh?
Fool killer.
Fool Killer? You would like to work on Fool Killer?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So would you like to work as writer or artist?
I'll do probably writer because it's a fool killer, a new fool killer every time.
Yep.
You can do your own spin on it. There's already a history there, and there's nothing that's not taboo on it. And they've had a priest who was killing gays because he thought it was wrong. They've had guys who people weren't living to the fullest, so he'd kill them because they thought they were fools.
You've got preset stuff in the fact that people know who Fool Killer is, but you've got free reign because the character can be anything.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I love that
understand
idea.
that. Yeah, that would be a terrific thing to write. So yeah, I can get behind that. Boggy,
Star Wars.
you should think about the answers before we get to you. We've gone through 3 weeks already.
I'm not going to say Star Wars because they've already got a good lot of artists and writers for that, and I've been quite happy with them.
Yeah, unfortunately, George Lucas wasn't a good writer.
you get the
More
chance
referring
to
to Dark Horse.
I know.
You said like the comics.
I want to see someone get the shit out of George Lucas and just go, was it better in 3D?
Was it good for you? Was it really?
I'd probably pick Deadpool.
Deadpool?
Yeah.
You'd like to work on Deadpool?
Probably more as writer than artist.
Really?
Well,
you think you can make him zany enough?
Do you know enough pop culture references?
I'm pretty sure.
You'd like to work on Deadpool?
I would like to work on Deadpool.
That'd be interesting. I think Way is the perfect person for Deadpool at this point. He does have the perfect
He's good.
psychosis to work on Deadpool.
Well, that's the thing. I think
so,
you've got to be a little bit insane to be able to sort of figure out what Deadpool
It would be interesting, but I would feel limited with a character like Deadpool.
Very limited.
Personally.
I don't know,
I think I'd find myself very limited with something like that.
Really? I would.
Because there's constraints that you have to meet. There's criteria you have to meet for everything you do.
Yeah.
And it just make it so boxed in to try and write.
It's a very established character and setting and all that. You have to stick to that. Yeah.
Although
to stick to
Wolverine
those sets.
Origins, him in that is absolutely brilliant.
That was the best writing.
Again, that was Daniel Way that was writing.
Yeah, that was Daniel Way that wrote
so
that.
he has done perfect with Deadpool since he's had control of it.
Yeah.
I mean, in comparison to Liefeld's
Yeah.
version of
Yeah.
it, Daniel Way has made such a brilliant character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Deadpool would be interesting, but I would be so careful about playing with that character. Go on.
I'm going to spoil us a little bit here because, recent comic, and I'd do the Max Punisher. And with the death of the Max Punisher recently, I'd love to do... Well, Nick Fury was the only main Marvel character that was in there. I would love to do a run with Nick Fury as the next Punisher.
You'd like to continue
I'd
that
love
series
to write it
and
with Fury as the new Punisher.
Right, Fury.
But only
as the new
only
Punisher.
1 or 2 issues, but just him using his time that he has left as a human, because he's old as well.
Yeah.
But just what he can do to try and change the world.
Yep. See what bridges on and follows on from what was essentially a kick-ass
Amazing
legacy.
series.
When
Yeah.
did Fury become Punisher?
He didn't.
He didn't. It's just he should.
It was set up so that he could.
What would you like to work on?
I would work on Avengers vs X-Men as an artist.
So you could kick
So I
John
could
Romita
kick
Jr.
John-
out.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, I can.
The voice of
it's just shocking artwork.
Yeah. It's like watching a red square fight the yellow square.
Oh my god! What is it?
A blue triangle appears.
What's that? It's a gun. No, it's not. It's a rectangle.
Isn't that his face? No, it's Colossus's hand.
No, that is also a gun.
Gun face. I'm going to totally screw up everything that everybody said because I did say character or title. So I would work on X-Men. And I would be the artist. Because I love writing. I've written so many stories prior to all of the things I've done. But I really do love drawing. And the only thing that stopped me from doing my own series is single characters.
And this
single characters bore the crap out of me.
Yep.
I have to draw this person from the back, from the side, from the 3/4 angle, from here, there.
Whereabouts a group.
X-Men, I have a group of 200 mutants to work with. I would never get bored of drawing that. You would the story would continue to revolve around specific people, but you've got so many people. You get bored of drawing the main character. You go, no, Wolverine's in the background. Let's go with that.
Yeah. The main problem with that would be very demanding. I think
it would be. It
because
really
you got
would
that. You know, as you said, 200 odd mutants to draw, and that. You know, was it you
draw the entire school?
You would come across some scenes that's like, oh crap. You know, I think only one character would work in that one.
You
as
just
opposed
do
to my
the
normal
standard artwork thing. You just draw like the outlines of them and then make them all purple, and have 3 people in front.
Yeah, that reminds the problem as well. Though you've got the main thing with working for a big company like that. You're never going to have character appearance continuity. Yeah. Everybody wants their character to look different because they're drawing differently.
Yep.
You get to a point where it's like been a while and you go, oh, nuts. What does he look like again? Hey, Rob, what does Superman look like now? No underwear version. Okay!
So he's just standing there in a shirt. This is what he said.
It's like Wolverine being like 6 foot next to Captain America in Avengers. And then you see him in like other series, and he's short, and then you see him standing next to
He's
Cyclops.
5'2", people.
And then he's next to Cyclops, and he's taller, and the Cyclops is like 6'2", and you're like, can someone...
It's holding on to continuity with the Avengers poster. Haven't you seen it? Captain America in the background is like 60 feet tall.
Giant Captain America.
Oh god, oh no, it was Michael Bay, wasn't it?
Yes.
We gave him the duties for the poster. American flag!
Plus, if you're working on a big group thing, then you can put in all like the the little insider jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would. I actually showed Mum the other day. She's like huge into Harry Potter, and I must admit I'm a huge Harry Potter fan as well.
On the paper, the 2 dudes having sex.
No.
You know the map of
Marauders map. You know that one.
Yeah.
In the 3rd movie, have you seen what I'm talking about here? In the credits at the end, right?
There's 2 feet like this, and there's other 2 feet like this.
And they're jiggling, like in the corner of the map.
Oh dear God! No,
Turn your PG movie into an M1.
Okay. No, my reference was the new Excalibur issue 3. Juggernaut's running down the street, and Harry Potter, Ron, and Hermione walk out, and they're like, "Watch out, Harry!" As Juggernaut runs past, and they're like, "What was that?" "I don't know." And that was it. It was just this weird little thing. Because Juggernaut was trying to get somewhere else.
What was that?
It was focusing on Juggernaut. New Excalibur, issue 3. It was just 3 panels. All of a sudden, Harry Potter, Ron, and Hermione were there.
When was that? Like this...
Oh, it was about 10 years ago now, I'd say, roughly.
Oh, I'd
it
love
was
to see that. That's really funny.
It was around about the time of the first movie.
You should have been like Juggernaut was supposed to go, oh, muggles.
So that would be
Just
actually
being able to
proper
throw something like
Juggernaut,
that.
not Colossus Juggernaut.
Yeah.
It's just Kane Marco running. It isn't even suited up. But yeah, it was just throwing little campy things like that in. It would just be brilliant to do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just
So
have
you
rain
could
on.
definitely get away with doing a lot like that with Deadpool. Like.
Well, things like that.
Yeah.
I've been looking at all of these things. There was Jim Lee just started working on Wildcats after his run with doing the X-Men and everything. So in Wildcats, Hayden, I think his name is, Spartan, and I think it must have been Voodoo, were on a cruise ship. And in the background, there's Jean and Scott. And even to the point where Scott's like, "What's happened there? Do you think he's a mutant?" "Shh, we're on holiday. I was like, that's brilliant! I'd love to be able to do something like that.
That is really good.
That would just be amazing to be able to throw little things like that in. Just little Easter eggs here and there.
Yeah.
In a title like X-Men, you can get away with something like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, just draw these characters in there. They even had Wolverine walk into a bar where the Birds of Prey were. And nobody noticed. It was Wolverine, Matt Murdock, and Elektra walking into a bar. Where it's like, what the hell? And it's just these weird little things that the artists have thrown in there.
Do you know there's a Spider-Man issue where people break out of prison, and then, there's a riot in the street, and there's actually Rorschach running down the street in one of them. I can't remember which issue it was. I can't remember what title it was, unfortunately. But it's you can you can see it on the internet if you search.
Excellent, yeah, excellent little things like that would just be brilliant. And a title like X-Men, I could do something like that. I would just absolutely love something like that.
I do like when they do that. It's good.
Yeah.
Probably should move on to the next question.
Yeah, we should go on to the next question. Next and last question. If you could choose any story to do a what-if title for, what would you do? What if? You know, like, I've seen a few of them. Comic Book Resources is good for it. They've got this thing where an artist does the stuff. There was one which I found absolutely hilarious. What if Batman and Superman aged accordingly to first appearance? They're really old and they've got the belt with the pills sitting on it and everything. And it's like, they face the internet, punk kids, and the doctor.
The doctor's pulling on a rubber gum.
Yeah, what if title would let's go in the round again. Ray, what if would you do?
I said earlier, what if, we want characters, but I said before, what if Marvel did DC, which would be odd.
No, I've already done that.
Well, that means that they have really good story arcs and not know how to finish them.
It's okay, video games, is it Marvel versus DC?
Yeah. What if Marvel did DC? That could kind of be interesting. Marvel writing DC characters, I think they did actually do that at one stage.
Yeah,
but
they did.
it would be interesting to see them try
it was more of a cross between...
They did the amalgam comics and stuff, but
Yeah.
they did actually give one issue
Yeah.
for Marvel to do it and for DC to do their opposing
Yeah, they did a
characters and everything.
My-
So, yeah.
My other one would be, what if the X-Men had never been formed? Did they ever do one like that?
I think they did do something like that, but what do you mean never formed? As in just mutants wandering around? Or
Yeah,
as
the
in
X-Men
Xavier
themselves.
never began?
Yeah, kind of like that. The
I
X-Men
think-
were never began, so Wolverine
that
still had
Age
his
of
whole
Apocalypse?
story.
All
But
the
X-Men
stories
never
there,
existed.
but there was never
Yeah.
a team of them.
Yeah.
Wasn't that pretty much Age of Apocalypse?
They've-
Someone
well,
went
no.
back in time, got rid of Charles Xavier, and then you had...
Well, yeah, they got rid of Charles Xavier. Even you've got me saying Xavier. What
Sorry.
the hell? Charles
I
Xavier.
just noticed that. I was like, when did you start saying it wrong? What?
I'm reading here. I'm reading. Xavier. Say it like real people say it.
Xavier.
Professor X.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
They did the whole Kill Xavier stuff, but to actually have no amalgamation of them, no
Yeah.
team
No
of
team
it,
ever
that
existed.
could be interesting because they have done things like what if Cyclops didn't join the X-Men,
Yeah.
or what if Wolverine, but what if X-Men did
You
not
could
exist?
make a whole series
The
of that
group
with
did
each
not
character
exist.
where they were at life.
That would be kind of interesting.
I think they naturally draw together though. That's the main problem. Is
I
they're
think
going to be
they
more
would
and more
tend to
isolated
group.
and more isolated, and they
Yeah.
would end up grouping. I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. They'd start all their mutant pride rallies
Yeah,
and
that's-
things like that, and yeah. in
Oh.
their
Pride.
spandex and
What a flow!
That's the thing, is if there's only one, like, there was, because the good thing about it is you've got, two sides to the coin, where, that if Xavier doesn't, form the team, then there's only one side to the coin. There's only, everyone will be drawn to Magneto.
Yeah,
and then
Magneto's
screw it.
yeah.
With an iron
yeah,
fist.
exactly. Yeah, and they've done that a couple of times. They did the What If Xavier Didn't Exist. There was the Age of Apocalypse, but they did actually do a What If title. What if Xavier didn't start the X-Men, and it was Magneto that started the X-Men? So they've already done that, and it's weird. But what if the X-Men,
Were they the
as a
Ant-Man?
group, didn't exist?
Yeah.
That would be quite interesting.
Were they the
I
M-Men or
probably
were they
would.
the X-Men still?
Sorry.
Were they the X-Men still or were they M-Men?
Yeah, because originally when they created the X-Men, it was about the X gene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's only recently they've started saying that it's the X and Xavier.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You see.
But yeah, originally it was because of the X gene.
Okay.
That was the mutant gene. Matt? What if? anything in the entire comic universe. What if Martha Stewart was a superhero? You know,
Yeah, sure.
what
do
if?
that.
No, I
She
don't
already
know
thinks-
she's on Facebook.
She already thinks she is.
Yeah.
The power of cooking.
Her tax evasion would have been much better.
Actually, her break out of prison.
Stuff with crossovers. I'd rather than make another Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie.
Ooh.
That's a what if, isn't it? What if Roger Rabbit wasn't framed?
What if Christopher Lloyd, took the day off that day and went in a time machine and went back?
Marty, wait, you're a rabbit. Okay, so you go with what? What if what? Come on, finish this title. What if?
What if I had a title?
What if I? Oh, hey, yeah, I'd read that. What if I had a title, Josh?
Yeah.
Matt's terrible at this.
I'd do what if all superheroes, all titles and everything took actual if you get punched, you do get damaged and you do spend time in hospital getting better. What the world would be like then.
What if they had the actual repercussions of the blunt force that they received?
Essentially.
That would be a very long title, but that would be interesting. One thing that's always amazed me is Cyclops. They've done it in the movies and all that sort of stuff, and I hate the fact that they've done it where he actually burns things.
Yeah.
It's blunt force. It was always supposed to be that. It was actual
Kinetic.
physical impact.
Yeah.
You get hit by that, you're out.
Yeah, it's like getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
You don't just go, whoa, spit up the blood and go, yeah, I'm ready
You
for round
shot
two.
me. What?
No, you lay on the ground with dislocated bones, broken,
That could be quite interesting. 5 pages in, everybody is in hospital.
and if anyone
Wars
can
in the hospital ward.
Yeah, and if everyone can actually shoot and aim a gun instead of just
Pew, 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 pew.
you get popped in the
Did I
leg,
hit
you're just
something?
on the ground, oh shit.
Oh my god! Ah!
In 5 pages they're all in hospital, in 7 pages they're all dead.
Just imagine.
Just funerals.
Just imagine that Batman's in hospital. Yeah, I would have got him if I didn't took a bullet to the knee.
Actually, Batman's probably the
No,
closest
bad
one
one.
to actually show the physical repercussions of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's that one
Batman's
where
probably
Bane
the
broke
closest.
his back.
Spider-Man as well, sometimes.
Spider-Man
Tends
some
to carry
yeah,
injuries.
yeah, he does carry some, but yeah, that would actually be really interesting to see the actual repercussions.
Yeah, could you imagine him swinging and grabbing someone? He's going to put his back out.
What
For the next 3 issues. I'm not doing any heavy lifting today, guys.
Like Gwen Stacy, when she fell,
Yeah,
the
she actually
spider broke her neck. People were actually taking physical damage, and I like that.
Let me catch you. Oh,
Whoa.
no.
And people are going to make mistakes like that when they're given new powers. You are going to not instantly think, I'll just do that.
Super strength. The first person you have sex with is not...
Crunch. Oh.
You get into a barroom brawl, you punch a guy and kill him, you're just like,
Oh,
Prison
dear
now.
God, that's
I'm not a superhero, I'm just now a murderer.
Like Spider-Man, I must hide my identity, so I'm gonna say, "You talking to me?" Punch him and he flies through the wall.
What if Superman goes to hospital and they're like, alright, we need to give him some adrenaline or he's going to die. Needle, snap. His eyeball?
Would that even work? I mean, it was...
Why are you stabbing that guy in the eye?
It would still bend.
Yeah, that's the thing, the needle will just snap. It's just, you have no way of medically treating this man.
He's going to die. Uh-huh.
You'd have to get a
okay.
needle that was made out of kryptonite to be able to pierce.
Even then, you're
We need to
still
save his
hurting
life,
him.
he's dead.
Oh, we just stuffed kryptonite into his vein.
Time to harvest him for organs. Let's see, who wants the super liver?
Not like someone's just like...
Super kidneys!
Someone gets super liver kidneys to go home, a year later, I'll have a celebratory drink. Three bottles of scotch later, what's going on?
Can you imagine
Super kidneys, he can pee across the world.
I suddenly need to pee, and you pee, and it's like a beam, and it's...
Can you imagine that guy going to save the world? Oh, hey, you want to
I shall take you on.
Wait 45 minutes, you were screwed.
That's my what-if title.
Piss man. Yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
I can't go when people are looking.
Stage fright.
So Cyclops, Bear Grylls like, I love you, man.
Why are you pulling your penis out at me? Just wait.
It's like, it's not working. Hang on, I need to drink some water. There we go. Okay, wait a minute. damn. Not yet.
Hang on, let me get a coffee.
Really hope the watch is not there.
Wookie. Let's move on. What if title would you do?
Okay, well, they actually did a few of these, but so I'm gonna basically I'd do a Star Wars one.
Really?
What if Anakin was never trained as a Jedi?
He wasn't.
He was.
He wasn't.
Train?
You found
What?
an old guy in the desert. The old guy gave him a lightsaber and put some
That was
visors.
Luke, you
That was
idiot.
Luke.
Oh, who was it?
Anakin.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong
He's Darth
Skywalker.
Vader.
The one that
As
calls
in,
Natalie
what if
Portman an
the
angel.
actual Sith found him instead of the Jedi?
What if Liam Neeson was a competent Jedi? It's
He'd
like,
still be alive.
everyone walks in. I sense something bad. He's like, I don't sense anything.
Don't know what you're talking about. Let's just get
Shut
these
up.
parts and go.
Credits will do fine. No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
Why is it working?
Yes, they will.
That's how they
Take
work.
my goddamn credits.
How about now? But yeah,
Yes, violent Jedis.
I would do that just to sort of see how they would have done things differently. Cause,
See, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't read that.
yeah, but there would be a few people.
I like Star Wars. I like the original Star Wars movies. I
Yeah.
don't go into the further lore.
Mm.
I would read all three of these what ifs, but not your what if.
Including Super Pissman?
Including Super Pissman.
What if?
Yeah.
Especially
I would
Super
have to
Pissman.
see that.
Well, I mean, it's a-
The only thing I would want to know is, would you show it? Would you show him unzip and pull it out? Or would it just be black bar from behind?
It's like some guy discovering he has the Force, but he hasn't become a Jedi, so he's just going around being a dick to everyone. Like, yeah, check it out. Skirt up. It's just that movie Chronicle again. It's just like people with powers. Just
What if Anakin didn't become a Jedi? Well, I don't know. He'd be pod racing. There'd be 6 more movies of that.
Luke, he'd be a Sand People slave.
It's not fair having a Jedi do pod racing. You go to and just push his thing over into the wall.
Into the wall. There we go.
He'd live with his dead mum and other people.
Is she still dead? She's just living in a corpse. Weekend at Bernie's. Using the Force to like
Animated.
Oh, give me a drink.
Okay, moving on. That's terrible. Gallon.
Mine would be a what if Superman has Sentry fought?
Ooh. Cross publisher.
Gosh,
battle.
battle.
That. I would love to see the outcome of that.
Yeah.
I would just like to see where it ended.
5 centuries later, they're still at it.
In fact, I'd like to. Can I put in a proposed ending for that? The Void getting transmitted to Superman.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that could end the battle. I see things like that. Superman is too much of a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
He would put Sentry down, but he wouldn't stop him.
He wouldn't stop him, yeah.
Sentry doesn't have that level of restriction.
But that's the thing with Sentry is the Boy Scout when he's Sentry.
He is when he's cognitive.
Yeah, when
he's in his own mind.
Yeah, when he's got his head straight, he is, but he's not.
That I would so read that.
Yeah.
So
So you're telling me Superman has never killed anybody?
On purpose.
No.
Doomsday.
Twice.
He killed Doomsday, didn't
Originally, he killed. In the early Superman comics, he would kill.
he? Yeah.
But I think they only had it twice.
Yeah.
He didn't actually kill Doomsday as
Didn't he?
such. He sort of disposed of him. it's
Put him in a trash can.
Okay, so
and
he
hid himself.
was a gangster now.
Yeah.
I didn't kill Jimmy Hart, but I disposed of him.
We didn't kill him. We just moved his head somewhere else.
Just went around just flicking people's spine, turning them into quadriplegics.
Yeah.
Oh no, Robin Banks, quadriplegic.
You should have killed me. You should have killed me.
I'd read that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm
I'd
actually
so
copywriting
read
that, guys. So if DC want to contact me, they can.
I've got this
I
all
don't think
worked
they
out.
would. To be brutally honest, I don't think either one would contact you. They'd probably just do it.
We came up with this
Yeah,
idea
I know.
years ago. We just didn't tell anyone.
Okay.
No, I would, yeah,
What
try to
if?
figure that one out.
What if would you do?
Oh no, what if Wanda actually got rid of all the mutants? I know the answer to that one.
That'd be a real good.
There wouldn't be any comics. There'd be no mutants.
Because everybody would be trying to get their powers back, and there'd just be humans just doing horrible things to try and get their powers back.
Yeah.
I'm off man cutting off his own hands and then reattaching them.
I'm off man just sat there cutting it off and then realising he doesn't.
Oh, that's blood
What about a
loss.
long neck guy? He's going to struggle. He'd be like, oh, my neck.
You just get the rings.
But that goes down to is that how many were actually out of that two? Was that how when she said no more mutants? How come there's still 200 of them
200
left?
Exactly.
I don't know.
There's got to be something special about that 200
You could
that
say
they
that it
get
was
infected
primary,
or-
like regret in her mind that she wouldn't remove the powers of certain people because she saw
Yeah.
it as balance. I mean, like, she wouldn't remove.
But her powers were uncontrollable.
Yeah, they were
They're not
uncontrollable, yeah.
perfectly in control. So, some would be left and things like that. But
So-
to actually see it
You
where
actually
it
have
was
to-
completely...
You have to know everybody's going to
Completely,
mutant as well as she
yeah.
was removing their powers. For her powers
Yeah.
to work, she'd have to have met them. So it's.
Yes. Yep. It would be interesting. That would be an interesting one. My first one and initial sort of thing would be, what if John Romita Jr. was a good artist? But I'd actually go for a cross-publisher thing. What if Iron Man was Batman? Not Tony Stark.
Batman?
Not
Or-
Tony Stark. Iron Man was Batman.
Sorry.
Iron Man's suit in a bat suit.
Iron Bat.
Iron Bat.
So in other words, if
Well,
Batman's
then
suit
kind
was
of
a
just a stealth then.
Not really. There's an Iron Man stealth suit.
He could actually fly.
yeah.
The bat could fly.
Do you know what might happen then? He might actually be able to be useful in terms of Superman.
Wait, you're useful? Welcome to the Justice League.
Actually, sorry, it was I think it was like number 6 of Justice League or something. It's like, okay, something's going down, so they would take off. Batman's like,
Yeah.
I'm coming.
I
Alright.
hate you guys.
Where's my jet?
He's trying to tell them what to do and they're just
What is he?
ignoring him.
He's a clown? Does he have any magical powers? No,
Yeah.
he's just a clown.
Sometimes he has
a
enough.
clown.
Sometimes he has
Well,
knives.
That actually is an interesting point. I mean, why hasn't Batman actually, used the billionaires of the $1 billion
He's got
got?
armour.
Yeah.
He's got armour suits. He's had armour suits. When he took out Bane, he created an armour suit. Another armour suit.
No, that wasn't that Azrael. That,
Asriel ended
yeah.
up with one as well, but
He said his suit
when he was
protected him
healing
against
because of his
2 hours.
back,
Okay.
he had
Maybe
to
cats.
have mechanical.
I know he developed a suit when as a suit to was it
Batman with chihuahuas taking
Yeah.
on Harley Quinn's hyenas.
Yeah.
That's what he said in the movie, isn't it? Like, you can turn your neck now and you...
Yeah.
that's good.
But I know was it in the
And if he was Iron Man, he could turn his neck all the way around. He could tell where anybody was.
But yeah, I know was it when they did the Batman versus Predator comics, he actually developed an armor so that the Predator couldn't actually see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Could you
I
imagine
did that too.
Batman with
Mud.
blasts out of his hands? He could actually fly and stuff. It would make Batman so much more interesting. Batman's boring. His villains are cool, but...
Well, technically they have already done something like that. If you look at it, was it Batman Beyond?
Shut up with the amalgam comics.
No, I said Batman Beyond, which was a futuristic version.
I don't
Yeah.
read that. I cannot be bothered with
I
Batman.
don't-
That was an actual suit that doubled his strength. He could actually fly.
So he became Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Without webs.
What I'd like to see is a what if the Gotham City cops were competent?
Would Batman be needed?
What if Arkham actually held prisoners properly?
That's too abstract to even comprehend.
It's just like how can they not keep the Joker imprisoned? That's what I struggle with. He's not got any superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
he's just
good
an
set of handcuffs.
A good set of handcuffs will stop that man. It's,
Nothing up my sleeves. Hey, presto!
Okay, I expected this. We've gone for an hour and a half.
Yay!
Over an hour and a half. So I said that when we said we were going to start doing hour shows, it was going to be an hour and a half long. We did it. So let's call it an end at there. Shut up, you. Yeah. So let's end it there. We'll call it quits for this week. Avengers vs X-Men, because, and this is really weird because a lot of people don't know about production time limits and all that sort of stuff. This is recorded on a Sunday, we're posting it on a Wednesday, so today is Avengers vs X-Men launch day. We can officially sell Avengers vs X-Men #1 today, Wednesday, today. So come and get
On
one.
Sunday.
Yes.
Where's my
yes.
comic? I love if someone actually watched it. Was it saw this. Do you upload on the actual? Was it Wednesday or was it
Wednesday morning? This goes online. So
that's the release
Wednesday
day,
morning.
Yeah.
Yes, from Wednesday morning we can sell Avengers vs X-Men #1. So if you want to continue the story with horrible artwork, come and get it.
I'll be here.
It's a good story.
It's a good story, excellent story. It's just John Romita Jr. has something to do with it.
I think
And you can meet all of us handsome chaps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be here.
Would you like us to autograph a copy for you?
It'll be worth nothing, but hey, you get to meet us.
We're all going to do our best to create our what if stories and sell them.
Yes.
Stick figures, here I come.
So can you please sign
I
this
think I'd
copy?
hire
Here's your crayon.
someone.
Super urine man, I expect to see that.
Oh dear God.
MS Paint.
Okay, I want to remind everyone again that Free Comic Book Day is coming up on Saturday the 5th of May, and like I keep on saying, we're having a day-long shindig, costumes, sausage sizzle, competitions, everything. Come on down for a fun day. Full day long. It'll be great. Don't forget, if you want to raise questions like the past 30 minutes of questions we've had, don't forget to go over to our website, which is cosmiccomicsaustralia.com.au, and leave a message in the comic box section on our forums, or leave a message on our Facebook page, which is Cosmic Comics Australia, or if you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this on YouTube, leave a message here, we will be able to get it, or of course if you feel like it, send this email through, and don't forget to put your name on it. We'll raise it on the next show, and we'll ignore that phone call.
It's probably someone with a question.
I have a question! This show isn't live.
It is now! I am the Riddler!
Taking our first caller now. Here.
Yes, we do sell that.
Thank you. Yes, go away. Would anybody else like to raise anything? Anything happening over the next...
Celebrations. Bleach ended.
Bleach ended!
Yes.
Bleach ended!
Look at the dancing Ewoks! Also, Bakuman's ending.
Yes! Woo!
Right?
April Fools!
Nicely done.
Well done.
You got me there as well.
What?
I couldn't help myself.
Did you hear about the Bleach movie? They're making a movie. Yeah, they're writing a Bleach movie.
April Fools?
No, sorry. It is an American movie set to the actual proper thing. It is going to be. It's going to be in Japan, Japanese people, all that sort of stuff. It's written by Americans, but it's Japanese.
Okay.
You mean someone listen to George Takei?
Oh my. Anybody else? Anybody need to raise anything? Anything happening that you know about or anything like that in the coming weeks? No, other than Easter.
Easter?
Okay.
Double demerit points next weekend. Drive safe.
We will not be here next week because of Easter, so there will be no show this week.
Next week.
Next week. Whatever, because of previously explained things, I am not doing a show on Easter Sunday. So Matt will be here alone.
Fine, you don't have to. We'll get here and do that.
Trying to learn the accordion.
We're taking callers. Here we go. Hello.
Okay. Oh dear God. So yeah, we won't be doing a show next time, but we might do just like a little quick thing throughout the week, just to tide people over and. Just do maybe a little thing to actually post on the following Wednesday. So it won't be a full show for next week. It will only be a little partial thing.
It'll only run for 2 hours.
Only 3 hours for this one. Sorry.
Actually, you could probably do like 5-minute segments of just each of us answering a few questions.
I'll review a couple. We'll review a couple of comics or something.
A few comics, maybe a couple of forum questions.
Do a couple of reviews. If you want to drop in a forum question, we'll answer that on the next show. We are closed on Good Friday because everyone is, and I don't want to work. Easter Monday is a public holiday. Easter Monday is a public holiday, so we'll only be open from 10 to 2. And I think that's pretty much it.
I don't think one small thing. Don't forget to eat plenty of red meat on Good Friday.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, we're having a barbecue.
Yeah, we're having a barbecue. Nobody's invited. Go away.
Posting it on Facebook. Here come the cops.
There's a question today. I work on Good Friday.
Cops?
Yeah.
The authorities are off on Good Friday.
And hospitals closed.
They're taking New Year's off as well.
Yeah. The cops are just sitting around the office, sitting there playing Xbox and stuff like that. You know, like every Saturday.
Grand
They
I must have been last night because I didn't see a single cop.
Anyway, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening to us, and we hope you join us in a couple of weeks for the full show and for the mini show next week. Ray's looking very strange. Okay. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk at you in a couple more weeks. Thanks for joining us for the Comic Box. I'm Psycho Scott.
Movie Matt.
Professor A.
Annie Mayan.
The Wookiee.
And you two guys.
Yes!
And the rest.
Thanks for Callum and Josh showing up and joining us for another wacky hour and a half. Actually, an hour and 3/4 now.
Can we hit 2 hours?
We're looking forward to talking at you next time. Have a great Easter and don't get sick from all the chocolate. Wolverine! Ninja. Vanish.